guys, how's it going? I'm just gonna do a little review for the BlazBlue event. BlazBlue event in Heroes. A lot of people requesting it, and yeah, just might as well. Personally, I don't think any of them are gonna see any Battle of Honor play, with the exception of possibly Jin. But we'll just get right into it. I'm definitely gonna be. That's equipment. I'm definitely going to be taking my sweet time with these heroes. Probably after BOH this week, I'll get Jin's package. So yeah, these heroes. So first we got this guy, Ragna. He's the Lost Island hero. He's definitely the easiest one to get max. He should be the first one that you get maxed. His skills, they're okay. If you're wondering why I have so many damn chains, it's because I like to use Lost Island 5 for quick experience grinding. Not efficient energy-wise, but I got like 250 energy potions, so for me it's just more of a time thing. And again, you get 76 experience per run. So he has... let me tell you, the first thing I have as problems with this. First, this is a stupid skill. This is just like, it's a second skill, Lily, so that arguably has some use potentially. But at the same time, it's kind of like if you need to have a movement hero that can knock. It's basically Scissor version of Lily, really. But it's like this, the push is his second skill, so it's not really that crazy. It's mostly alternating in terms of DPS for first and third, but you know, having this in your as your second, like he's not going to be an auto friendly hero with something like that. His third skill is fairly strong. I wouldn't be surprised if his soul gear is one of the best when they come out in terms of straight up damage, because he is the attack type. Probably the strongest single target damage dealer. I do like this hitbox. I gotta say that I do like the hitbox, but just as a melee hero with only, well, first off, the skill and the skill are all like the plus side for him being melee is he does have the full circle for his range around for all of them, and these two skills do have the wider hitboxes. This one, for obvious reasons, can only target one character, but his hitboxes are it's just, I really don't like heroes that only have one range for every single skill no matter what, because there's going to be too many situations where they just can't do anything. Like there's even going to be, like, what's his movement, is it 5? No, it's not even 5, he's got 4 movement. That's absolutely terrible. Let's just look at his base stats real quick. It's probably over 10. Yeah, so he's basically Ryzel in terms of his stats. Actually, now that I'm thinking, is this just Ryzel pasted onto a melee hero? 4 movement, Ryzel's got 3, lower mastery, definitely higher HP, but the same attack, higher defense. Well, I guess he's very similar to Ryzel. But I'd still say Ryzel beats him every day of the week, even though he's paper. But his base stats they're mediocre. Like the thing is, most of the new heroes that come out have both good stats and like some kind of amazing utility of some kind. Or Nexon flops hard like Lucas. Like that's kind of the pattern. So I've felt really underwhelmed by all of these heroes at first glance, but I just really don't like the Soul Leader kind of makes you think that he might be good as a counter hero, but I completely disagree. I don't think that he's going to be very good at all as a counter hero. His sustain with a 15% base, I don't know what it is max, obviously I haven't raised him up, but it's probably no more than 35, probably actually 25, but it's not going to be huge. He'll probably be very similar to to Banshee, who another hero. Banshee is actually good. I think Banshee's better than him. It's just I just didn't raise her. That's all. Oh, only 23. That stinks though. But you know, skills like this and like this and like this have limitless potential to be useful in tons of situations, for everything. This straight melee, like he's basically Azrael and Rizal mixed together. He's just not that great. He's got a little bit of sustain. He's got like one of the things I noticed with the Blaze heroes is they have flat amount reductions instead of percent amount reductions, which is absolutely terrible. Like, you know, they can just remove these. Decreasing an enemy's attack by 1,000 actually isn't that bad, but his defense going up by, you know, it's kind of, and again, it's a basic skill. It's kind of a crappy thing to have as an effect. Let's see. Oh, this isn't even a 100% chance to push, so that's terrible. Yeah, so this is just a stupid skill. Yeah, so this is no, like he's really just he's really kind of just screaming mediocrity from all sides to me. I really don't think he's going to see any serious play. The one hero I think is the pick the litter is Rachel here. As an area of attack hero with 8,000 attack, I do have some high hopes for her. So she's basically Klein level in stats, which is fantastic. I do not believe her skill modifiers are particularly high. Yeah, this only starts at 130, so it probably caps out. Let's see if it goes up by 9 levels. Well, maybe maybe it's only 5 though. It'll probably be in the 175% range, maxed out, just like all the other area attack skills. Her passive is pretty good. It looks like just kind of a way better version of Serendi's to me, mixed with a little bit of crit action with the odd even turn mechanic. But that's just with her. Yeah, that's just with her movement and recovery. So she always has her attack increase, and it looks like that's going to be a max of 14. Or is it going to be 13? Whatever it's going to be. Doesn't really matter. It's probably going to be a decent amount. But she, with having that, it gives her, like, the one thing that makes her kind of really good in that respect is that with Klein, now Klein's probably a better hero just because the way that his Berserk passive works, and how much buffing a counter has had. With well, you know, it's kind of steam. Like counter was the worst possible thing that you could do to a hero. It was so much investment, and you lost all of the great reliable stats to do it. And then they came out with the outer space set, and it was really good-ish. Like it was semi-practical. It wasn't terrible, and you saw people using it. It was kind of a nice thing to have, especially because like Beast Train and things like that is all SS builds. So it was great for an SP. So it was really good value set. And then with Transcendence now we have way higher defense, way higher HP, way higher counter damage. Like because of the way that counter damage scales, I think that counter is one of the most practical builds to do for Battle of Honor. I'm actually hoping that they give it a slight nerf in the near future for how much they've changed the game. They should really alter the way that counter damage itself scales, because it's just especially with Klein, because of his Berserk passive. There's just too many sets that kind of fit along with that build now that give you excessive amounts of all the stats that you would otherwise have sacrificed. So you get tons of HP, tons of defense, and then you're guaranteed counter with the outer space set, and then all these sweet defensive sets like the Slime King or the Defender of Earth or the Gold Tiger, if you're going for a Gold Tiger kind of shenanigans. They're all maces. So you just stack a huge amount, and with Transcendence, it really gets out of hand. Of course, there's downsides, like they get to go first. If you're playing a counter game, they are attacking first. So Rachel to me just looks like the more practical version of Klein, away from counter shenanigans, because her passive is more suited to give her a slight boost, not like an insane boost, but right away. And then she's got one of my favorite hitboxes for a turn one. Like, I think her with the Ghost Step and a Klein set, on some days would just walk in and do all kinds of terrible. Ryzel is fairly dangerous just with his second skill with that hitbox, so I'm really expecting her to see some really good play. And again, looking at her base stats, her crit rate is actually fairly high as a base. Like Lee's 1200, and a lot of heroes are in the 500 and 600 range. So for like 900 is fairly good, like the upper mid range. But she really doesn't have any straight up weakness. Plus she's a paper type hero, so don't have to worry about crit. She looks like she's really solid. Well, I never even went over what her skills actually did. This stun is kind of just a nice little perk. I really don't see it being something that's super great. I love how she has Yekaterina's hitbox for her second skill, but I do not like how the defense is a flat amount. I really think that they should get away from flat amount reductions and start switching them out for percent-based reductions. Drops lightning bolts onto wherever she stands, attacking all enemies in its range. This and increasing their Alright, so they're decreasing the attack. Now, it seems like a small amount, but again, and it is a small amount, but like there are quite a few Bells and Valkyries that, for example, that my Lena leaves with like 1,000 to 5,000 HP left. So things like this, like you never know if it's just going to be able to put it over a certain threshold where it gives you an extra tempo from a survived attack that you otherwise would have died at. But it's, like I said, I like percent-based reductions. I think they're really practical. I think that all these flat-based reductions are kind of, bad in value. And of course we talked about her passive, so we'll go on to Noel. I think Noel's actually really good too. Unfortunately, what I don't like about these two, Jin and Noel, is the existence of Crut kind of really shoots them down. So Noel, look, she looks so similar to somebody that we know might have been modeled after this character from a different game. I wonder if it's Rage. I think it's funny that they buffed Rage if they were just going to pick her for the collab event. I think it's really stupid. Her crit rate is great. Her mastery's kind of meh. Her attack is fantastic, of course, just right on par with what's Face's name? Ragna's attack. Only her skills actually can shoot far away. Look at this. Look, there's a Chenny. You know what? I might want to play her just so I can get back into my old Chenny groove with that hitbox. Her passive is fantastic. I like that it increases both attack and defense. It's probably 10% at max. But 10 and 10, I think those are good numbers. For an attack type hero anyway, I think that's a great passive. You can't be Crut. Not everybody can be Crut. But Crut's passive, even though it's amazing, it doesn't work on turn 1. So if it worked on turn 1, then man, Crut would just one-shot everything in the game no matter what. Another 32.5% attack and 20% crit damage, he would just be unstoppable. Hooray for not that. I like passive like this that are basically active all the time. Guaranteed value and just a good chunk of increase. Okay, and this ignores defense, so it'll probably be around 200%, and then let's pin it at around 3,000 defense ignore or something like that. Probably going to be in that range somewhere, but it'll probably be a very strong attack. This looks like it's just going to mirror Chenny exactly almost, but it'll be slightly better and on a rock hero as an attack type. This is a stupid skill because it causes dot damage. Like dot damage is just the worst mechanic. And this just doesn't do anything. Well, it's got a square hitbox. Alright, so I really wish that they would have made this a 4-range skill, not a 3-range skill, just because she can only hit in a straight line with these two skills, so it's kind of crappy to only be able to hit from a 3-range on the diagonal. Like, it really kind of limits a lot of... there's better heroes. There's just better heroes. Like I said, I really am kind of underwhelmed by all the BlazBlue heroes, because with no Blaze we have heroes that are really game-breaking in a lot of different ways. Like, Sierra is still probably the strongest hero in terms, like, if she brands an enemy, I think that Sierra is the strongest turn 1 hero in the game. I think that she actually is. Ryzel, again, very strong. Kind of a glass cannon, but still very strong. Muzaka, one of the best heroes in the game, hands down. Has been since it came out. And I called that since the post on the Facebook page. Man, he's going to be so badass, and he's just not disappointed at all. He's been fantastic. Raskria and Frank were... Raskria actually does have a use for guild raid, but still, so bad. I really just, like, Noel looks like she's kind of well-rounded, but again, like, there's really nothing blow your mind about any of these heroes. Jin obviously is the best hero. He's the one that costs the... you can only acquire him with a 2500 crystal package, so save up your crystals for that. He does come with his SS set and all that, so that's nice and fun. But is he any good? Well, he's got the worst stats of all of the heroes. He has by far the worst stats. He does, however, have a Muzaka-like aura that attacks at the beginning of the turn. It has a chance of reducing movement, and since it's 35, I'm assuming that it's about 80% at level 10. Usually things like this do go up by 5%, so it should be 45% more, so 80%. So it kind of sucks that it's not 100% effect. So it's kind of like a mix of Muzaka and Sierra's brand, because I don't think that's 100% effect either, or maybe I'm just being resisted by guild raid bosses too much, I don't remember. Now this skill looks like it says creates ice on a selected tile. I'm pretty sure it does not. It would be cool, like that would be an awesome mechanic if it did. It just creates a terrain, because like, he's ice terrain, isn't he? Yeah, it would be awesome if it did, but there's just no way. There's no way they would add something like that. If they did, they would have this in like green writing or something that was just like, hey, it totally does this thing, but there's no chance. Attacking all enemies in range at this amount of attack. Enemies with reduced movement receive additional damage equals to the... Alright, so potential for HP % damage here. So if you kind of mix him in with Muzaka or Krut, that can immobilize, he would kind of be a good pairing. But you know, running 2 rocks is not really safe in the current state of the game with all these insanely overpowered paper heroes. It's just really not right. Now his set does give him the damage reduction, but it's kind of a trade-off set. If you're building it with pure set builds, his set gives a 10% damage reduction and the 30% attack and the crit rate. 1400 crit rate, I believe. But it's like mace, shield, necklace. It's probably the worst possible spread that you could have for a 3-star set. Even the outer space set, which like comes with a sweet counter effect, uses a chest piece. And the reason why shield and mace are terrible for the character specific sets is because you generally only want maces for countering. And you can't use the outer space set on the 3-star slot if you're using his set on the 3-star slot. Now what I really do like about him is he's the first hero to have the lowered HP, I believe it is the lowered healing effect. Again, though it does look like it's an 80% chance. I don't like the fact that it's a straight line path either, and I really, really hate the fact that it's 4 range. If it was a 5 range pierce, then I would think this skill was awesome, because then he could range Bell with it. Because that would be something that would actually have something impactful to give to the game, but this just does not. This will let him get countered by counter Bell, and though she will heal herself less, hopefully she'll not be able to kill him, but generally it might still be impossible for Jin to kill her. I really like the range of this skill, and the hitbox. I think it's a great skill, but I just do not think that it's a good exchange. They need to be under an effect to take the percent HP damage, and generally that's going to be more of a PvE thing. In PvP, if you have to have Krut going, you're really not going to need to have Krut or Lena or like, you're not going to need to have one of your other heroes generally damage a hero like the strong heroes that we have that can do all these things. If they do these things, then generally he's not going to need the percent HP damage to kill them. It's just kind of out there, and I think that he's going to be taking a massive hit to the scaling of his actual attack for the benefit of this HP thing. Now, if they start beside him and he lowers their movement with his own skill, then it's fantastic. He can go around one-turning people all the time. But he's not, like I said, his stats are, to me, they look like they're the worst of any. Like, his defense is really low for some kind of mechanic that's going to be based off of him having to start beside a hero on that turn. Like, generally that's only going to happen, like in BOH at least, generally that's only going to happen if they come up to you. So it looks like he might be like a Pathfinder Angel Knight kind of build, like hero, but he might even also need to go something like Slime King, which you might be able to pull off with Pathfinder Angel Knight, because you got a really good amount of crit from that. And then if you went Beast Trained Ass, so I don't know if Slime King would give you enough crit. But as a balanced type, he doesn't have to suffer from some of the things like Slime King effects. So, like, I do think he is the most, like, he's kind of these, like, the best built to fight specific heroes that we have. Like, obviously, if you have Jin here against Bell, at least with his second skill, he only does the one turn, which is kind of crappy, but it looks like you might have the edge. Whereas Rachel just looks like she's kind of generally good at everything by comparison. Jin really does not. He does have some good range. That's about it. Every single one of his skills is an 80% modifier, isn't it? 80% chance, 80% chance, 80% chance at max. I think it's stupid how the skill only has the 2 range in either direction like this. It'd be nice if it was like Muzaka's. Oh! Oh, okay, yeah. It'd be nice if it was like Muzaka's and he can hit on the angles. He might be able to replace Muzaka in Guild Raid. If this skill wasn't like that. I don't think it's possible to spam third skills without running out of mana. If only this could hit on that 2-slot diagonal. Nexon really got us with this one. They really, maybe they'll change the skill if we complain enough. Tell everybody go complain. Try to make the skill hit on the diagonal also, so that you can use him as replacement for Muzaka in Guild Raid, because his passive will kill the boss. And then if you can make this somehow with superpower OP sets strong enough, probably Slime King, DK, Angel Knight, you can survive. The boss level 9 and higher, in Muzaka's spot, so you don't have to use Muzaka. It would be pretty sweet. Plus he'd bring a lot more damage to the table than Musaka, especially with this 4 skill. Anyway, everybody go to the Nexon forums and complain that Jin's first skill should hit 2 diagonal. Make sure you classify that as the BlazBlue Jin. Anyway, that's going to be it for this review. Like I said, like there might be some good practicality for Jin. There might be some just general purpose use for Rachel. Hopefully some really good stuff, but I'm not really putting a lot of faith in the 4 heroes of this event. I don't think that there's like, oh, all these, you know, when Krut comes out, what people were asking what I thought of Valkyrie when she came out. I thought Valkyrie was going to be so, like, Valkyrie's retarded. Like, Valkyrie is so stupid, it blows my mind how stupid Valkyrie is. So damn powerful. Like, this is the stupidest passive that, like attack and defense by 5% and of current HP. Like, that just blows my mind how overpowered that is. Like, 5%, alright, so attack by HP, a 5-star potential is 3.3%. Like, if we had a 6-star, 5, like, just based off of the look of the pattern, it would probably be 4.5%. Because we go 0.7, then we go 1.3. Like we go from 2.7 to 3.3. So you know what? Take that back. It would go up to 4. Next one will be 4. So this would be like a this would be like a 7 or 8 star effect. The way that the attack by HP is scaling. Max attack by HP is 10%. So this giving 5 is obscene, and also applies to defense at the same time. Like, that is broken. That is so far beyond broken. I just don't understand why they. Again, Valkyrie is always just blown my mind how good she was from the second I read her skills. But the other thing that really blows my mind is it's based off of her current HP. And while that is sometimes a weakness if she's taken damage, for the most part on a turn 1 effect, because like turn 1 effects are great, like before being damaged. Like Jenny was always fantastic, and Jenny's only works when she's at 100% HP. But turn 1 effects are, they have a good edge on other, in terms of general practicality overall. But it's based off of current HP. Because it's based off of current HP, if you have sets like Pathfinder or Eldrika's Trinity, it counts the HP from the set. Now, normal attack by HP conversions ignore set-based gains. I think that's a bug and that they should fix it, but it ignores set-based gains. So if you have plus 30,000 health from a Trinity, those set gains, they do not get the benefit of attack by HP. They do not get the benefit of your HP potential. So if you have 10% HP potential, I think 32 is max, but let's just make it easy. You have 10% HP potential, and then you have the 32,000 HP, or whatever, 19,000 HP for Pathfinder, 32,000 for Trinity, so you have those two on, let's say. Or, you know, let's just make it easy. Let's go with Defender of Earth. So you have 50,000 HP. You wouldn't gain another 5,000 HP and have 55,000 HP. You would just get the 50,000. So the fact that her skill gets the bonus from all those things is just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, I think with all my best gear on Krut and then all my best gear on Valkyrie, Valkyrie has like more attack than Krut. That's ridiculous. Plus she's got a great soul gear. Her soul gear is awesome. Her wings, it's like up to 20%, 18.7%. And this is just for taunt, which is obviously very useful. Another 10% there. What is it normally? 80? 80%, yeah, so 90% taunt, so that's awesome. Anyway, like, Valkyrie's got everything. Valkyrie is Krut and Musaka level overpowered. Like, the absolute best undeniable heroes in the game, your straight up tier 1, are Krut, Musaka, Bell, Celestial, and Valkyrie. Celestial barely makes it in my opinion. Arguably, Klein's better than Celestial, but Valkyrie for sure. Like absolute top three, Krut, Valkyrie, and Bell. Valkyrie being number one, Krut probably being number three. I'd have to say they're the three most powerful. Like if you have to take a representative here from every class, those are the best three heroes in the game. If you have those three heroes in your team, you're generally on the right track. And like Celestial's really good, Klein's really good, but I just don't think that they're as obscenely broken as those heroes. Muzaka obviously is Muzaka's one of those heroes where he's not always mind-blowing, but when he is coming after you, and you just can't kill him, he's just a nightmare to deal with. So great. Should start just using only Muzaka. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video.